Welcome to the windmill garden, a little off-grid garden irrigated by a windmill. Let's have a garden tour. The first garden chore for today is to tie up this grapevine. These vines grow extremely quick, and I don't water this plant anymore. Grapevines are known for having deep roots, and I think this one's tapped into the groundwater. The water table below my feet here at the garden is around 10 feet, but grape roots can go 20 feet or more. A very good plant for dryland gardens. No apricots this year, but a Eurasian dove did lay 2 eggs. And about 5 days later, there they are. The apricot tree is growing. I can tell that by the stretch marks on that paint. The white latex paint protects these trees from sun scald. You can see a video about that right here. I did a lot of fruit tree grafting in March. The grafts took well, and the tape's ready to come off. Fruit production on these apples and pear trees was a bust this year. Late frost took all the blossoms. All that survived was about 4 or 5 pears on this tree. Oh well, better luck next year. Sunflowers always do well in the drylands. These didn't get huge, just not enough water. Beets are a crop that always does well here. I grow some pretty good beets, maybe not as good as Schrute Farms. What do you think, Dwight? Here's some beet kvass fermenting. And here are golden beets, planted densely. We make a great soup from golden beets and carrots. Real nice. The cabbage, that is. The cabbage did great this year. These are getting a little old, need to be harvested like yesterday, but they're going to be fine. The red cabbage take a little longer and can take the heat better. Here's a cabbage that's already been harvested. Sometimes you can leave them in the ground and the side shoots will grow little heads. And here's a small crop of onion seeds. These onions overwintered, and on their second year, they produce seeds. The seeds are turning black, looks like they're about ready. Tomatoes are coming on. No fruit yet, but lots of flowers. Sometimes in my area, it's too hot for the fruit to set in July. Gotta wait till the fall. And across to this bed, I planted some cowpeas, black-eyed peas. Here's the young pods, and here's the flowers. Tasty. The onions are bulbing up. It'll be harvest time soon. And it's a constant chore, tying up grapevines. These are potatoes I haven't dug yet. Most of the taters have been harvested. Boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. We store our taters down in the basement where it's nice and cool, and there's no light. Most of them were small, but I got a few that are going to be good for baked potatoes. After I dig potatoes, I plant squash in that garden spot. It's getting a little late, but I should have a harvest. Mostly butternut squash, spaghetti, acorn, and a few Seminole pumpkins. This is Nevada lettuce. It's a heat-tolerant variety, and it's done well. And here's a late flat Dutch cabbage. These cabbage can get huge. This one's pushing through the heat. Well, that's how things are growing in these 3 beds. Let's go check out the 4 beds in the back. Here's rhubarb, struggling in the heat, but I'll get some stalks. The asparagus has gone to ferns. And here's some dill seeds. I'll be spreading that through the bed. And down here under the asparagus forest, I think I found a mulberry tree. What a find. I'll dig that up and plant it somewhere. And here are asparagus berries on a female plant. They'll drop seeds, and new asparagus plants will grow next year. The archway trellises are starting to fill in. This is a gourd plant, snake gourd. It grows extremely fast. I'd say about 6 inches a day. I constantly have to tie the vines down. This is cantaloupe melon. It also does really well on the trellis. No melons yet, but lots of flowers. This pot of mint has had about enough of the heat, but the flowers still attract pollinators. And over here we have a cucumber and some pole beans climbing the trellis. More onions around the back side. I like to spread onions all through the garden. I think the scent keeps away pests. Here's some late planted cucumbers. They went in after our garlic. The garlic did well this year. My wife planted it last spring. Way to go, honey. More cabbage, onions, and beets back here in this corner. These are red onions, Cabernet. Red Russian kale. I didn't plant this, it volunteered. It's struggling in the heat and the bugs are starting to get it. Young grapevines on the fence. I'd like to cover this fence with grapes to make a windbreak. Red acre cabbage, Sierra Blanca onion, and here's some more good Detroit beets. This one's ready for harvest, and these are getting close. I'll harvest this still and freeze it. It'll be used for pickles. Butternut squash, growing quick and needs a little tie down on the trellis. Around the corner, this is a new plant to me. This is fennel. It's always good to try a few new things. Speaking of new things, this plant's new to me also. This is borage. The flowers are edible in small amounts. They have a cucumber flavor. Here's my carrot patch. I didn't plant these. I had carrots that overwintered and dropped seed. Sown a little too thick, but I'll pick and thin these carrots as the season goes on. And that brings us to the chickens. They're going through a molt, but they're getting through the heat just fine. These chickens produce eggs, but all the garden scraps, waste hay and manure, go into their coop. They scratch that up into soil, which is used on the garden. The chickens create a nutrient loop in the garden. But I'll tell you what, the eggs are pretty nice also. 10 eggs today, that's not bad. Let's go check out what's growing in the pig pen. I raise hogs in the winter, but in the summer, I grow crops here. 2 rows of bush beans on the right, and over here on the left, okra. I plant these okra thick and they usually do fine. I might have to thin them a little bit. And over here are my pumpkins. Here's a little baby pumpkin, but he's gonna grow quick. This is a new squash variety for me. It's called honey nut. And here's watermelon vines, flowers, and about 1 week later, I found this. More bush and pole beans planted on the fence, and these are pinto. I even planted in the pig house this year for an experiment. I tried to grow wine cap mushrooms in here, but I haven't been watering and they got too dry. I can see the mycelium, but I think I need to spread more hay and water this really good. Here's some of it now. I wanted to make a video about planting mushrooms, but ended up a failure. Here's my fig tree. It's about 6 or 7 years old. I never got a fig, and it always freezes to the ground. Let's harvest these cabbage. It's time. We got to get them before they split in the heat. Now I'll cut all these extra leaves, and that stuff's going to the chickens. Good, nutrient-dense greens for the chickens, and future soil for the garden. And a little treat for me, side shoot cabbage. Now let's go outside the garden fence and check out some of the trees. Here's a peach that's doing really well, and here's a pluot that a rat ate. Rats and deer give me a lot of trouble at this garden. Baby peach tree and a young apple. Native juniper, and this is our native cholla cactus. This is a mulberry tree, but I don't know the variety. And here's a quince. Two native plains cottonwood trees doing very well and growing fast. I think they're tapped into the groundwater. Let's go check that out. Here's the old shallow well and windmill that irrigate my garden. We're in a drought this year, but the arroyo did flood one time, back in June, and that recharged the groundwater system. Kept me in garden business. Cool, clean, fresh water. Such a blessing on a hot day. If you're interested in this water system, check out some of my other videos. Well, that's all I got on this one. I'll get these cabbages home, clean them up, put them in the fridge. I'll see you next time at the Windmill Garden.